everyone, and welcome back to our channel, where we explore the little stories that teach us big lessons. Today, I want to share a heartwarming tale that I think will resonate with many of you. It's a story about finding beauty in our imperfections, about seeing the magic in what seems broken. So grab a cozy blanket, get comfortable, and let's dive into the world of the little broken crayon. Imagine a big, bright classroom filled with the cheerful sounds of children and bursting with colors. In this lively room sat a box of crayons, a rainbow of possibilities just waiting to be explored. There were tall, shiny crayons, perfectly pointed and wrapped in crisp paper. There was the bold red, the sunny yellow, the calm blue, and the vibrant green, all standing proudly side by side. But among them, tucked away in a corner, was one small, broken crayon. This little crayon wasn't like the others. It was much shorter, its paper wrapper was peeling, and right in the middle, it had a big crack. It had been a beautiful shade of red once, but a tumble from a desk had snapped it in two. Now, it was just a fragment of what it used to be. Whenever the children reached for the crayon box, their fingers would dance over the tall, perfect crayons. They'd pick up the blue to draw the sky, the green for the grass, and the yellow for a brilliant sun. But when their fingers brushed against the small, broken crayon, they would pull back. "Oh, this one is broken," one child would say, putting it back. "I can't draw with this," another would add, tossing it aside. "It's too small, and it will just break again." Each time, the little broken crayon would feel a pang of sadness. It watched as its taller, shinier siblings were chosen to create magnificent drawings, castles, oceans, and fields of flowers. They would return to the box, a little shorter but filled with the pride of having been used. The little crayon, however, just sat in its corner, growing more and more lonely. It would roll itself into the darkest part of the box and whisper to itself, "I wish I was still useful. I wish I was whole again. What good is a broken crayon?" It dreamed of the days when it was long and strong, able to draw bold, confident lines across a fresh sheet of paper. Now, it felt like its purpose was gone, lost in the crack that ran through its very core. The other crayons didn't pay it much attention either. They were too busy talking about the wonderful pictures they had helped create. The broken crayon felt invisible, like a forgotten memory. Days turned into weeks, and the little crayon remained untouched. It had almost given up hope, convinced it would spend the rest of its days in the corner of that box, a useless, broken thing. But then, one sunny afternoon, everything changed. A new girl came to the art table. She had sparkling eyes and a gentle smile. She opened the crayon box with a look of pure excitement, her little fingers hovering over the colors. She carefully picked up the blue crayon, then the green, then the yellow, just like all the other children. She set them down neatly beside her paper. The broken crayon watched, expecting to be ignored once again. But then the little girl stopped. Her gaze fell upon the small, forgotten crayon in the corner. She didn't frown or toss it aside. Instead, her eyes lit up with curiosity. She gently picked it up, holding it in her palm as if it were a precious treasure. She turned it over and over, looking at its cracked body and worn-down tip. A wide smile spread across her face. "This one," she whispered softly to herself, "this one is special." The little crayon couldn't believe what it heard her special. How could a broken crayon be special? The girl placed the crayon on her paper and, with a gentle hand, began to draw. At first, the crayon was nervous. It tried to make a solid red line, but because of its crack, the line was shaky and thin. It felt like it was failing. But the girl didn't seem to mind. She kept drawing, her movements fluid and confident. And then something magical happened. As she pressed a little harder, the crayon shifted slightly along its crack. Suddenly, it wasn't just drawing with one tip, but with two. One side of the crack drew a line of rich, deep red, while the other side, angled differently, drew a soft, warm yellow from a nearby crayon it had rubbed against in the box. The two colors started to blend together on the paper, creating a beautiful, fiery orange stripe. The little girl gasped in delight. "Wow! It's making a rainbow!" she exclaimed. Her initial thin line transformed into a vibrant, multicolored arc. She drew another line next to it, and this time, a hint of blue joined the red, creating a stunning swirl of purple. The broken crayon was no longer just a red crayon. Because of its crack, because of its brokenness, it was creating colors and textures that none of the other perfect crayons could. The broken crayon felt a warmth spread through it, a feeling it hadn't experienced in a very long time. It wasn't useless. It wasn't a failure. It was unique. It was creating something entirely new, something unexpected and beautiful. The girl was completely captivated. She filled the entire page with swirls and stripes of dazzling color, all made by the little broken crayon. The page came alive with a sunset, a firework display, and a magnificent rainbow that stretched from one end of the paper to the other. The colors it produced were more vibrant, more dynamic, and more full of life than any single colored line. When the picture was finally finished, the little girl held it up high for everyone to see. The drawing shimmered with a unique glow. The other children gathered around, their eyes wide with amazement. "How did you do that?" one asked. "Which crayon did you use?" asked another. The little girl pointed proudly to the small, cracked crayon still sitting on her desk. "This one," she said. "It's my favorite crayon. It makes magic." The other crayons in the box looked on in disbelief. The little broken crayon they had all ignored was now the star of the most beautiful drawing in the room. From that day on, the little crayon was never left in the corner again. The children learned that by holding it at different angles, they could create incredible patterns and blend colors in ways they never thought possible. They called it the magic crayon or the rainbow crayon. The little crayon was shorter than ever, and its crack had widened a bit, but it had never felt more whole. It smiled, not a sad whisper in the dark, but a bright, colorful smile. It had learned a very important lesson, one that it carried with it for the rest of its days. And that lesson is something I want to share with all of you today. Even when you feel broken, even when you think you've lost your purpose, it's often those very cracks, those imperfections that allow you to create something uniquely beautiful. Your perceived flaws might just be your greatest strengths in disguise. They make you special. They make you, you. So the next time you feel a little broken, remember the story of the little crayon. Embrace your cracks, because they might just be waiting to paint a rainbow. Thank you so much for listening to this story with me today. If it touched your heart, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing for more stories that inspire and uplift. Share in the comments below what makes you feel unique. I love reading your thoughts. Until next time, take care and keep shining your special light. Bye.